I somehow missed the boat early last year when Nier Automata was released. I was busy with loads of other games at the time and Nier was unfortunately forgotten. If it wasn't for just about everyone on the planet telling me how good it was, I probably wouldn't have gotten around to finally giving it a go over a year later. Honestly, what can I say that everyone else hasn't already? Nier Automata is just awesome. There are so many moments here that are just completely badass. Do it, look up badass in the dictionary and you'll find Nier Automata in the definition. But what is it about Nier that it does so well? Just about everything, but let's take a look. To be or not to be? That is the question. Well, you don't really have a choice. You begin the game playing as 2B, who is far from a type of pencil. She is an android created to defeat the machine lifeforms on Earth who have invaded the planet and driven the surviving humans to take refuge on the moon. Throughout 2B's journey, you'll team up with fellow android 9S to try and end the machine threat to a local resistance camp. However, it's obviously not this straightforward. Upon exploring this beautiful world, loads of questions will be raised, such as why the machines have decided to host a massive orgy. I'm not even joking. And why has Sephiroth appeared from nowhere? To be more accurate, we have machines mimicking human behavior and the birth of two humanoid machines who are the physical manifestations of the machine network. What's all that about? The way that this story unfolds is both crazy and excellent. As I mentioned before, your first playthrough is as 2B. By the end of her playthrough, the twists, turns, plot holes and mysteries will have you scratching your head. That is when you begin the second playthrough, which is a repeat of the events you've just played through, but instead it is told through 9S, the android that's been helping 2B through her journey. His point of view will reveal even more about the plot, but also raise even more questions. Then the third playthrough takes place after the events of the first two playthroughs, which really shifts this excellent plot into another gear. There really are so many awesome moments throughout this game, and the interesting cast of characters really help drive this quality plot. I've also got to make a special mention to the incredible soundtrack. Most of the locations that you visit has its own vocal track that perfectly sets the mood of the moment. This is one of the best soundtracks I've heard in a long time. The story isn't the only thing about Nier that's crazy. The gameplay styles are also at times off the charts. Most of the time you'll be running around hacking and slashing your way through your opponents, but at other times you could be playing a 2D platformer or a space shooter. This works very well with the style of the game and keeps every moment engaging. We'll start with the core gameplay. Your focus will be jumping and dodging around the place, landing a combination of weak and heavy attacks. However, you've also got a pod supporting you in battle, which allows you to shoot enemies and unleash powerful attacks while you wreak havoc on the machines. So basically there's a lot you need to consider at all times to be effective in battle. Ultimately, this works very well and is particularly highlighted in the boss battles, which are both excessive and bloody awesome. I mentioned before that the first two playthroughs are more or less the same in terms of story, but told through two different points of view. The second time you play as 9S, and to keep things fresh gameplay wise, his heavy attacks have been replaced with the ability to hack into his enemies to inflict damage. This was a genius move in my opinion, as hacking, which once again changes up the gameplay style completely, is a great alternative. Overall, the gameplay rocks. My only criticism was that it's way too easy, particularly after you start finding healing chips. You can also use auto heal when your HP is low, making it very difficult to die. But this issue of mine is only on the medium difficulty. At any time you can change it to hard mode. But seriously, come on now, it is way too hard. I changed over to it a few times and died in a single hit each time. Am I the only one who had an issue with this balance, or am I just shit at this game? The two main methods of strengthening up your androids is by finding and upgrading your weapons and by utilizing skill chips. There are only 4 weapon types, but each play differently to one another. Each weapon type has several different models that can be found around the place, most of which offer slight variations in battle. Upgrading these require materials that can be found around the world. Most of these are pretty easy to find if you take your time exploring the beautiful landscapes and killing a variety of machines. The skill chips provide way more customization to your androids. Each android can equip a certain number of chips which provide loads of different enhancements in battle, from stat increases to healing capabilities. Combining these chips together and choosing suitable combinations are a lot of fun and can create countless different playstyles. Some of these chips are awarded to you for completing the many side quests. While there were loads to take on, they never seemed overwhelming, which was a good thing. I hate games that throw 10 million side quests at me only after playing the game for an hour. Most of these side quests are interesting too and provide crucial information about the non-playable characters and the world around them. These NPCs are great. Many of them are friendly machines who are facing some of the strangest issues you could imagine. Really, everything about the lore, the characters, and the world just combine perfectly to create an incredible experience. Nier Automata. I am so glad I gave this a go, even though I was a bit late to the party. Every second of this 30 to 40 hour journey is crazy, badass, completely unique, and just off the chart insane. Both the narrative and the way that it's structured in 3 stages was a great move and had me thinking about it days after its completion. The incredible soundtrack also fits perfectly with the mood of the game. The gameplay is also top shelf and provides hours of intense ass kicking. I also loved how the different gameplay styles all seamlessly combine into one single experience. There is so much to love about Nier Automata. The only slight complaint that I had was in the drastic change in difficulty between medium and hard modes. I really wanted an in-between. In the end, it looks like all the positive feedback I've been hearing about this game was well justified. How's this for a recommendation? If you like video games, then play this game now. This was Hellfire RPGs, thanks for watching. If you liked this, hit like and subscribe for more RPG content. I'll see you next time.